Man, I don't know how, but this video that I'm about to show you has no views at the time of us doing this. So let's go be view number 1. Link is in the description. What I recommend you do is spread this video on all your social media. Not this one. Not this one I'm going to clip. Not this one that's live, although it doesn't hurt. But the video that is linked in the description. Share it on your social media. Because Matt Walsh looks a fool. And the person talking to him has the absolute perfect method of dealing with these clowns. It is amongst the most entertaining and effective. All right, it's amongst the most entertaining content I've seen, but it's also amongst the most effective strategies I've seen for talking to these folks. Here it is. It's a fella by the name of Alec Gunter.
All the way here just so I could ask you a medical question. So I have a question about your stance on puberty blockers for children. Now, you've stated before that puberty blockers are dangerous, and certainly they do carry their risks. However, child pregnancy is far more dangerous for the child and carries risks up to and including death and permanent disability. So why do you believe that a 13-year-old should be forced to give birth to their rapist child?
I don't think that it is ever okay to kill a child.
Okay, so then why do you support a 13-year-old giving birth to their rapist child, which could kill them?
This is not about.
Right there. What was the very first thing Matt Walsh tried to do? Basically, what I see, and look, hear me out, even right-wing supporters who have been duped and are not themselves trying to con, it's what I see every right-winger do. You ask them a straight question, and they try to run away. They try to make the conversation about something else, and they think that is clever because they have forgotten why we are having a discussion. It's to arrive at serious answers. But they see this truly as a game. Now, Matt Walsh is dishonest. Matt Walsh sees this as a game because he does not care about other human beings. He cares only about himself, and playing this game is how he makes his fortune. And we are going to be damned by history for having allowed people to make fortunes off of the kind of hurt that Matt Walsh does. Spreads. But even the good-natured right-wingers, there are really no truly good-natured right-wingers in the United States that I have met, including on the internet, but even the, let's say, sincere right-wingers, they don't know any better. To them, this is all they see. This is all they ever see. When you get asked a difficult question, you squirm and you wriggle and you flee from it and you try to make it about something else. And they think that's just what politics is. No interest in what the actual truth is. So what do? Exactly what apparently Alec Gunter does. Stop them and go right back. As soon as they flee, stop, go right back to the question. Ask it again. In this case, yeah, imagine how scared a sibling of yours, for example, might have been when giving birth. Imagine how scared you might have been when giving birth. You had if you're an older sibling and you remember when your mother was giving birth to your younger sibling, do you remember how scared she was? Why? Why be scared? Because it's legitimately a dangerous thing. Spartan women who died giving birth were the only people, in addition to warriors, who got the grave marker that said, "in battle." Matt Walsh wants to put a 13-year-old through that. rather than have her get a simple medical procedure to scrape an egg that should not be fertilized. Because, again, I stress this 13-year-old in this scenario is a victim of rape. To scrape that egg out and not have the 13-year-old be forced to give birth. Matt Walsh just tried to run from that right off the bat. Gunter didn't let him. That's what I recommend you do as well. Let the conversation be awkward. Their fault for being terrible, not yours for insisting we talk about honest politics.
The person who has caused that condition, the person who has caused this situation, is the rapist. Now, if you want to kill somebody because of what has happened to this poor child, then I absolutely...
I feel like you're not answering my question.
Right? Look at that. Again. He just tried to deflect again. He said, oh, it didn't work when I tried to make it not about the 13-year-old girl, so I made it about the baby. He didn't bite. Maybe he'll get distracted if I talk about the rapist instead. Maybe I can get this guy to focus on whether or not I just said we should execute rapists as a matter of course. It's a separate political conversation. Again, Matt Walsh, the coward, is fleeing. He's fleeing the question. That's a great way to know that you've asked a question they do not have an answer for. Matt Walsh knows it. Matt Walsh is terrified in this moment. That means Matt Walsh is having a bad day because of Alec Gunter. Matt Walsh is being embarrassed because of Alec Gunter. I am, in other words, very grateful to Alec Gunter because a bad day for Matt Walsh is a great day for decent human beings.
Well, if you would let me talk, I could answer it.
Okay.
If you want to kill someone in response to a rape, I am fully in support of killing the rapist. And so if there is a rapist who has raped a 13-year-old child, as far as I'm concerned, go to trial, convict them that same day, take them out back and hang them, as far as I'm concerned. What I do not think is...
Why do you believe that a child...
Because I don't think it's okay to kill a child
why
intentionally under any circumstance.
Oh, intentionally?
Yes.
Okay.
You're the medical expert.
Sure.
The unborn child, is that a human being or not?
That is a religious question.
It's not a religious question, it's a medical question. How is it a religious question? It's a medical question. What is it if it's not a human being? So you don't know.
No, I do know. It just has human genetics.
So is it a human or not?
Okay, note right there. He did have an answer. And this is when you start getting into a little bit more advanced politics. By the way, you guys are there right now. If you're wondering if this was me and I was there, would I have the political ammunition, the knowledge to be able to pull off what he's pulling off? Set aside would the strategy that he's using come to mind, and just if you're wondering would I have the actual knowledge, you already do. Anti-corporatist has me running circles sometimes as I'm considering points that the guy makes. Wireless Mike, Pinker Bell, My Dogs Are Goth, BCat and K, Pendulous Dragon, Rex Track. You guys drop information all the time. If you have a thing that makes you want to go in front of Matt Walsh and ask a question, you have the information. Here is the technique. Here's what to do with that information. Don't dump it. That's our go-to move on the left, is just dump information, and people don't listen. They just don't listen. It doesn't say, the individual words don't mean anything to them because there's just too much. Hold back. He had an answer to that question, but he didn't. Let's play it while my mug is up here spoiling it. It's a 5-minute video. This is going to be a 15-minute segment. We're going over this in detail. Every ounce of this is gold.
You're the medical expert.
Sure.
The unborn child, is that a human being or not?
Now that's you sitting right there, and there's your moment. He stopped talking. He's given you a chance to talk. Look at this guy's face. Look at this stone cold mother. He has an answer. But they're already talking about something other than the crux of the question he asked. What about the fate of the 13-year-old girl? He sees that again, Matt Walsh is desperate to lead him down another path. He doesn't bother going into his answer because that is what Matt Walsh wants him to do. Matt Walsh wants to gish gabble. He wants to then disagree with some small point that this guy makes in the response to a counter question that is not truly related to the initial question, or it's only tangentially related. Because again, what Matt Walsh is trying to do desperately, with increasingly desperate action, he's trying to avoid answering the question. And so this guy has an answer, and he demonstrates that, but he doesn't go into detail on his answer. And he demonstrates that he has an answer later because he just moves on until Matt Walsh specifically says, well, you don't have an answer. He says, I do. It's blank. But what you said was...
That is a religious question.
It's not a religious question. It's a medical question. How's it a religious question? It's a medical question. What is it if it's not a human being? So you don't know.
No, I do know. It just has human genetics.
So is it a human or not?
Medically speaking, we don't consider it a full-fledged human being. And if we did, it would have something like
Not full. What do you mean full-fledged?
So then let me ask you this. Why don't we have conception?
Oh, that's brilliant. Going back there in a second. We're gonna ramp that back up. But again, he had the answer. He said, medically speaking, no, it's not. It's not. It's genetic material. Is a sperm a full-fledged human being? Nope. Is an egg? Nope. Is a fertilized egg? Nope. We say in the medical industry it is not a human being until it is multiple sets of organs working in unison and, generally speaking, able to sustain life on its own without the mother. That's the answer. But the point is, he didn't feel the need to dump that all out there, like I just did. He didn't feel the need to do that. All he feels the need to do is to grab Matt Walsh, that weasel mother, and make him answer the question. But here's a great dig he gets in. Okay, actually, before we go into that, why? Why is it a great dig? Because it's fast. He bothers to give this dig only because it's fast, sums up his argument well, and he can go right back to answering the question or asking the question.
So is it a human or not?
Medically speaking, we don't consider it a full-fledged human being. And if we did, it would have something like
Not full. What do you mean full-fledged?
So then let me ask you this. Why don't we have conception certificates?
Boom.
Well, for one thing, it's very hard to know exactly when a conception occurs.
So then that's a
difficult
convenient
thing
excuse
to
then.
What's that?
That's convenient. It's just convenient that it's hard to
Well,
figure out.
yes, it would be very inconvenient to
Right.
try to get a certificate for when exactly you conceived.
Okay,
also
then like
a
a
little bit strange, to be
heartbeat-
honest. I don't want to have to go to
certificate.
I don't have to go to the
Then
licensing office and say, hey, my wife and I had an experience the other night.
I'll meet you halfway. How about a heartbeat certificate?
No.
No? Why not?
A heartbeat certificate?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fully for it. Let's have one.
You are
We should
fully
definitely
for
have
that.
one of those. Yeah, absolutely. Great idea. I like that idea. But
But
Let
just to be clear, you do support 13-year-olds giving birth to their child's rapist.
you have not. We can't have this.
their rapist
We
child.
have not. I don't support killing a child. Do you?
So he almost loses it because Matt Walsh successfully started arguing with him about something else. Oh, the heartbeat certificate. Yeah, that's what we should do. Yeah, that's what I want. Even though it was a great dig. But he catches that. Alec Gunter does. He catches that and he goes right back to it. Why are we going to make this 13-year-old child risk her life over a fertilized cell that should not be fertilized? There is not a decent answer for that question, and Matt Walsh knows it. Watch him scramble. I'm just going to let this awkwardness go for a moment.
but no, I do not. But I'm
Okay,
asking
so you do support abortion, or
No,
you
you're
don't?
avoiding my question. Do you
I've answered your
support?
question. You haven't answered mine.
You have not answered the question. Yes or
Is
no?
the unborn child a
Do
human
you
being or
support-
not?
I'm not letting you get away from this, Matt. Do you support
You are not
a
answering the
child? I asked
Let's try
you
this
the-
again. Let's
Wait,
try this
who's
again.
asking the questions here, man? Come on.
Let's try this again. I do not support the direct intentional murder of a child under any circumstance.
Right, so then
at
you
all.
don't support a 13-year-old child giving birth to their rapist child because that could kill them. It has a very good chance of doing so via hemorrhage, toxemia, all kinds of complications, permanent disability. There are all kinds of complications with that. So
I'm gonna try
why
this.
do you
Side note, did you hear that smattering of applause for Walsh? What? He just did the tone like he won. It's just me? That's apparently a Matt Walsh fan. Yeah. Just you. Because everybody else knows in that crowd, whether they like Walsh or hate him, that was not a moment to applaud for Matt Walsh.
support?
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna. No.
Okay,
Hold on
don't answer the
one second.
question. I appreciate your time.
No. Come back here.
Why? You're not answering my question.
Because you're the nurse, you're the medical expert, and you won't even tell us what a human being is. I'm
Well,
starting
you
to get
didn't
concerned.
answer my question.
Like,
Why should
where
I
do you
answer
work, man?
yours?
What
You
is
didn't
it-
answer my question.
It is never
Do
okay
you-
to.
do
It is
you,
never
Matt
okay
Walsh?
to intentionally and directly
It's
kill an
very
innocent
simple.
human child. Period. That's my position.
It's
What I'm
very
asking you
simple.
is.
But that's
do you
not answering
consider-
the question,
do
man.
you
Come on.
consider-
Look at how painful he's making this for Matt Walsh. Technique number one we've learned from this. Withhold an irrelevant answer, even if you've got it. If you want to demonstrate that you've got an answer, sure, demonstrate that you've got an answer, but don't allow the conversation to be about that. If you find yourself using more than half a sentence to give your answer, the other half of which should be, but that's not what we're talking about, then don't bother saying anything about it. Force them to talk about what you are talking about. Thing number two, be willing to leave. Show them the disrespect of the sight of your back. Look at his body language. Let me tie this in. Instead of number two being be ready to leave, which I think is fine, but I don't think that's more about personal health and debate. How about this? Mock them for not answering your question. There's technique number two for winning the debate. Easily used technique number two. Easily used. Mock them for not answering the question. Here's an easy way to mock somebody for doing that. Why aren't we talking about the question I asked? Why aren't we talking about the point I made? You are now talking about a different thing. Why is that? Are you unable to answer the question? Are you uncomfortable answering the question? Do you not want to say out loud what your answer is to that? Do you know what I'll respond? Do you know that you're wrong? If you know that you're wrong, why do you hold these beliefs? If you don't have the courage, this is you having a conversation with a random person. If you don't have the courage to say what you believe out loud to me, how dare you ask me to believe it too? If it's such a vile belief that you hold that you can't say it out loud, why would you dare ask me to support that? Why would you dare support it yourself? Mock them for not being able to answer your question. Mock them for fleeing to the Gish gallop instead of being serious about politics. They deserve your mockery.
We both know that you're dancing around this. Come on.
Do you consider an unborn child?
I'm not
to be a
answering
human
that
being
until
or
you
not?
answer my question. You didn't answer it.
Okay.
You didn't answer.
And number three is the being willing to walk away. Sorry I did that out of order. I'm not answering that till you answer what I said. Matt Walsh does the frustrated, oh, okay. Oh, this guy's unreasonable. I know how I'm going to pitch this. I'm going to go, okay. I've got him so beat he can't. He never answered the question. This guy not letting him get away with doing that smarmy little okay. Not letting the guy in the crowd who tried to clap for Matt Walsh's little performative nonsense. That guy who doesn't actually understand politics at all but only reads body language. Yeah, Alec Gunter's hitting Matt Walsh with the body language too. He's restating the cause of their friction over and over and over and over and over and over again, and it never ceases to be true, and Matt Walsh has no answer. Because Matt Walsh is a goddamn monster.
Answer it. I don't have to answer your question. Who's asking? Are you guys in line for a question or to be asked a question?
I know you don't.
I'm just wondering.
Okay. Here's what we've established
okay, man.
here.
Take a minute to think about it. I'll get you the next rally.
Okay. Let's.
Oh,
that was
laughter.
Despite what it may seem, that was actually quite an informative exchange.
Yeah, no. It definitely seemed like an informative exchange. No doubt about that. Oh, my word. Let's recap. What have we learned from Alec Gunter just then? Arguably more in that 4-minute clip than I've accomplished in a full year, nearly a full year, of streaming this show on YouTube. And I'm proud of this show. Truly. In my life, of the things I'm proud of, this show ranks pretty darn high on the list. But Alec Gunter right there just demonstrated 3 rhetorical techniques that we can all use, and I recommend we all take advantage of. Number 1, don't let them run away. Don't let them run away from a question. If they're trying to, it's because they do not have an answer that they are comfortable sharing. Whether it's because they're trying to hide an answer or they just don't know. They're trying to make it seem like they know without actually having an answer. And too much of our politics is dictated by people who behave that way. Don't let them run away. Thing number 2, mock them for trying to run away. Mock them for trying to flee from you. Make it exceedingly obvious that this person is not an honest actor. It is for their benefit, so they realize that is what they're doing, and they realize they are seen, and they realize that they must have an answer for the question you have asked if they are to be taken seriously ever, or they must simply bow out of politics. It's also for the benefit of everybody watching. Make it very, very clear, including to this guy, where the failure is in the conversation. The failure is on the part of the coward who will not address the question. They don't have an answer. At least not when they're willing to share in polite company. Third thing, be willing to walk away when they have demonstrated they're a clown. Don't give them a moment to mine, to say, this is how I won. I know. He said 90 times, answer the question, why should a 13-year-old be forced to risk her life to give birth? But I got him to say, I don't know when World War II ended, and so I'm the winner. Don't give them that chance. Once you have embarrassed them appropriately by mocking them for being fools and frankly cowards, be willing to let everybody know that you're done with this rhetorical beating. That they're not able to fight back. Contender can't hold their hands up in defense. And so it's a TKO. And you're the victor. Alec Gunter TV. I would recommend subscribing. I have seen exactly 1 video by this person, and I am a fan. Hopefully they won't let me down. Hopefully they don't have terrible other videos. But on what we have seen alone, Alec Gunter TV, You just made a fan out of your old pal Jake. Let's see what the Wicked community has to say.